Hi, my name is Bob Garden, and I wrote a screenplay called Come In From the Cold War. How I came up with my story idea is I was watching a TV show about spies. I won't give you the name of the TV show. It really wasn't that good, and it was canceled after 4 or 5 episodes. But it was typical spy stuff. You know, they had the gadgets, the fast cars, the hidden underground secret base, the rooms and closets filled with weapons. And I was struck by how excessively expensive everything was in this world. And I just had the idea of what if they did like they do at a GM plant? What if someone showed up one day and to cut costs, just let everyone go and closed up shop? Then I started thinking a lot about James Bond and about how when the actor who plays James Bond gets too old, they replace him with a younger, hipper actor. Well, what if they just replace James Bond? You know, sorry, James, we don't need you anymore. Jack Bauer's going to save the world now. So if you have that sort of super spy character, once you take away their job, once you take away saving the world, what are you left with? You're left with, you know, a womanizing alcoholic with a gambling addiction. So I was really interested in that character, where that character would be 10, 15 years later after being fired, and then how they would react to going back into the action super spy world. How long the script took me to write was too long. I really thought this would be a quick one to write. I thought I'd be done in 1 or 2 months, but it took me about 10 or 11. And the reason was I struggled with the tone of the script, because I didn't want it to be comedy. I didn't want to do parody. That sort of spy parody is a genre itself, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to deal with age, and I wanted to write about a character who was fired from the only job they loved and that they're really good at. But at the same time, I didn't want to be bogged down by that. I didn't want it to be about a depressed character. I still wanted to write a fun, blow-up-horrific action movie. So juggling that, I really struggled, and it took a lot longer than I expected. The amount of rewrites I did of the script is really hard to answer because I rewrite as I go. I have a set process where I just spit out the first 50 pages of any script I write. What I do is I just write the first 50 pages, write. If the dialogue's no good or if the scene descriptions are no good, I'll just get to it later. And so once I've written those 50 pages, I go back and then I rewrite those 50 pages. And I mold those 50 pages so that the script is going in the direction I want it to go. And then after, what I do is write the next 20, 30 pages, bring me to the end of Act 2. And then I'll go right back to the beginning and rewrite everything to make sure the new pages go with the old pages, things I like or don't like in either one. And with this script, that took a long time. Because I was struggling with tone, writing the first and second act and rewriting the first and second act took a long time. But all the while, I always knew my ending. And any script I write, the ending is always normally the easiest thing I write. And I normally do very little rewriting once I write that third act. So I'll write the third act and then all I have to do is a small polish. So the last act might have only been written or rewritten once or twice. But the earlier acts were rewritten maybe at least a dozen times, if not 20 and 30 in this case. Come In From the Cold War is not the first script I've ever written. It's probably about the 10th. The first 2 or 3 I probably wouldn't let anyone read. And I've also written some spec TV scripts, some comic book scripts. And since writing Come In From the Cold War, I've written a newer script. The reason why I submitted to Scriptapalooza is because I've been working at this for a while. I've gone down to the Screenwriting Expo in LA. I've gone to events here where I live in Toronto, read lots of magazines, read lots of books. And one thing all the experts talk about or write about is to break into the industry. The best thing to do now, if you don't have friends in the industry or you don't live in LA, the best thing to do is to go through a screenwriting competition. But at the same time, they warn there's only about a handful that matter. And Scriptapalooza is always on every expert's shortlist. So the reason why I submitted to Scriptapalooza is because it's Scriptapalooza. Advice to other screenwriters is a little hard for me because I don't feel I'm there yet to give advice. But all I can say is keep writing. Like, I know how easy it is to not write. Like, being someone who has a day job, has a family, I know how easy it is to not stay up late, to not be tired all the time. But you just got to keep writing because those stories are in your head, and if you don't write them down, no one else will. And the other thing is, the more you write, the better you get. Just like anything else, the more you do it, the better you get. So that's really the only advice I can give, is just keep at it. No matter how old you are or how old you think you are, or you think it's too late and opportunities have passed you by, no, just keep writing. Thanks.